we became completely dysfunctional, my family used to go on a big trip to Vail every winter. My parents really tried to get their 3 daughters stoked about skiing, but we were artsy types and were never really into it. To their credit, Mom and Dad found a kids' ski group that was partly a storytelling adventure, which we really liked. Basically, a man dressed up as a pioneer with a raccoon tail hat and all would lead our little group through the trees and tell us stories about fairies living in the branches. He'd speak to us in funny voices. He'd tell us the zipper on our jacket pocket would make us go faster if we zipped it up and down 3 times. I eventually got really good at skiing because of that magical man. But the winter that I was 7 years old, that man's class wasn't available. My older sister was fine with going to a regular ski class, but I was decidedly not. And my little 6-year-old sister, Emily, who would do everything I did, stood by my side. We threw a fit, and I, a redheaded Taurus, got my way. My mom had to stay with my little sister and me in the cabin all day while my older sister and dad hit the slopes. Mom was not happy. Emily and I were locked in our room with no TV, no books, and no games. We cried for hours. When my father got home that evening, we apologized to both our parents profusely. That's when my dad said the thing that would change everything. Actions speak louder than words. What did that mean? How did actions speak, exactly? Then it hit me. We would have to prove to my parents, through action, that we were really sorry. As soon as everyone was fast asleep, I woke my little sister up and whispered to her in the darkness, "Emily, what? I have an idea to prove to Mom and Dad that we're really sorry." "What?" "We get them presents." "When?" "Now." "Where?" "The center of town." That winter, home alone was a big presence in my life, so I knew kids were capable of more than most. Sure, Kevin McAllister was 8 years old, practically in the double digits, and Emily and I were only 6 and 7. But girls obviously mature faster than boys. I knew my parents kept the keys to the cabin in a little basket on the kitchen table. I also knew that that little basket held coins that we could use for the bus fare. 3 big round silver ones to get us there, and 3 big round silver ones to get us back. Furthermore, I knew where to get the bus, and that that bus would take us right to the center of town, where there were a bunch of little shops. I had around $5 whole in my Minnie Mouse coin purse, and I was willing to sacrifice my savings for this quest. Around 9 or 10 or 12 p.m., what is the time when you're a child, Emily and I tiptoed out of the room we shared, past our older sister's room, past our parents' room where they were watching TV, through the kitchen where I picked up the cabin key and our bus fare, and out the front door. It was thrilling. We snuck down a snowy path to the bus stop. When the bus came, Emily and I made our way to the back and sat down. I noticed many fellow passengers looking at us, so I whispered to Emily, "Pretend you see Mom and Dad at the front and wave to them." My after-school acting course was paying off. I waved to Mom and Dad and mouthed something like, "We're good." Emily, however, was waving her arm rapidly like she was saying goodbye to her family on the Titanic. I grabbed her. "Too much," I whispered. She would never make it as an actor. We made it to the center of town. Many of the shops were dark and closed. I'd never seen the world like this before. Gates covered doorways, music blared from nearby bars, and people walked with less purpose. The atmosphere gave me that same chilly feeling I always got when we got to the child catcher part of the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I told Emily to hold my hand and not let go. If anyone asked where our parents were, we were to say, "They're right outside." A familiar shop my mom had gotten Advil from once was still open, so we went there first. My mom notoriously loves 2 things, candles and animals. To our sheer delight, we found a candle in the shape of a baby otter. It was perfect. The cashier asked us skeptically, "Where are your parents?" Emily and I replied simultaneously, both a little too loudly, "They're right outside." Next, what to find for our father? We had some money left, some pennies, a few thick silver coins, some small thin ones. I had no idea how much. Coins were wildly confusing, but I knew we still needed to get the big ones to get home. We went into the only other gift shop that was open nearby and found a whistle we thought Dad might like, but we didn't have enough to pay for it and were laughed out the door. We almost turned around to go home. But then I had an idea. Emily was small and super cute. What if she went into a shop by herself and played dumb? Maybe they'd give her a discount. I shared my idea with Emily and she was game. We got to the door of a little corner store that was about to close. It was our last hope. I watched from the window as brave little Emily ventured in solo and found a Swiss Army knife our father would surely adore. She confidently took it to the cashier, flashed her naturally adorable 6-year-old smile, and dumped the remaining change from the Minnie Mouse wallet onto the counter. The man shook his head and told her it wasn't enough. Emily slumped away in defeat. But then I saw she pocketed the army knife! What a loud speaking action! My little artful daughter, her sister, and I skipped all the way to the bus stop home. When we eventually got off the bus, we heard our mother before we saw her. She screamed and cried and ran toward us from the cabin, police lights flashing and backlighting her dramatically, our father not far behind. They scooped us up into their arms. We got many kisses on our chubby cheeks. "Why did you run away?" my father asked. "We bestowed our gifts." I replied, of course, "Actions speak louder than words." And speak louder they did. The next day we got pancakes shaped like dinosaurs with chocolate chips in them for breakfast and went to a Wild West museum. I assumed we had earned all these pleasures because Mom and Dad were so thankful for our gifts, as opposed to, sorry that they had made us feel so awful that we had knowingly risked our lives for them. One day, not long after, my parents had a mix-up and neither of them arrived to pick me up from school. I waited for what felt like days for my mom to get there. She was very apologetic, but I told her I expected a Happy Meal out of it because, well, actions speak louder.